Hey there. So today I wanted to talk about Vostok watches and my Vostok. So these watches are great because they're an inexpensive diver and they have great horological history. They're the engineering behind them and the design is really interesting as well. So they're a cool watch. They're kind of like, they have, retro designs, you could say. They're, old designs that were made when they were, being engineered and everything. So it's a great, I'd say it's a great looking watch, and the design is cool, and it's from Russia, so it's cool, I guess. So there's all the Russian writing on it. I can't read it. I don't know what it says. 31 joules, I guess. But so I love my Vostok. It's great. The case is really interesting too. How it has that huge coin edge there. And it's very sharp and sticks out. And it kind of has like a crock pot dish look into it, or a small noodle pot with a lid on it. That's what I kind of see when I look at it this way. So this crown is really nothing special. It works, it's pretty big, but like it's flat there and it's kind of sharp, and it's not high class, it's not rounded or polished. It's just, seems like once they machined it, just dropped it in the bin and put it on. But the dial is great. I love that nice blue, and the red on the second hand pops. It's great. I love it's not quite a lollipop, but it has that little loom pip there, and I love that. It's just a really cool watch to look at. And that round, it's not glass, it's some sort of plastic nylon or something. But yeah, that's really cool too. I haven't had a watch that, is domed at all. But yeah, this is great. So this case is a 7-1. It's a 71 or 710. But the face is a 432 or 432 or 43.2. So the 7-1 stand for the case, and the last three numbers stand for the dial, and the middle number of 710, the 0 stands for the metal of the case. So these are stainless steel, so 0 is stainless steel. On the Commandeer skis, those, I think the case is brass, solid brass. So this is a 71 case, 0 metal, and a 432 dial. So 710 432 is this watch here, and that's great because if you find a dial that you like, you can search for the case that you want it in and the dial that you want it in. So you don't necessarily, you're not stuck with a certain case with a certain dial. And there's even a few different bezels on by the different sellers and stuff. So the bezel's okay. I like it. It's kind of fine. I like the red accents. But I'm not really, it's not that I hate the numerals around here, or it's not that I really love them, but it is something that I'm probably going to upgrade. I was thinking a Seiko SKX 009 Pepsi bezel for that. I think that would look nice, because blue bezel, I think it'd look cool. And yeah, so for those of you who don't know, I guess the engineering behind this is that, think of the back as like a mason jar. You have the screw, and then you have the lid. So this part is the screw part, and this is the lid. So this moves independently of this. So that means this can move up and down a little bit because it's sitting on a big flat washer. So it can compress a little bit. And this is plastic, so plastic gives a little bit too. So both these, this one and that, if they are compressed when they go deep underwater, they just seal tighter. So the deeper it goes, the tighter it is, the more water resistant or waterproof it is. So this watch, right, says it's 660 feet, 200 meters water resistant. That's great. But this is one piece, right? This is both these are, well, okay, that's one piece and that's another piece. But that screws onto the case. And this doesn't move up and down. And this doesn't move up and down. Oh, jeez. This doesn't move up and down. So this is a sealed thing. And that won't give. So it's like blowing a glass ball and sending it down and down under the ocean. Sooner or later that's going to crash. But if you make a rubber ball, if you blow like a rubber ball and throw it down, 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 it's probably going to go deeper than the glass because it's going to give and compress without shattering. So not exactly a good analogy, but think of it kind of that way. This gives and these don't. So that's why these are great engineering, because they have, you know, two pieces on the back, and it's a cheap way to make them too, and they don't need to be super high class, and so they work great. And so they've been tested. I've heard, I guess I've seen a bunch of these YouTube videos, and so I think I remember hearing that they were, you know, strapped to like a submarine and submerged real deep, and they turned out fine. So go Vostok. So the dial is pretty sweet too. It's a nice matte blue. The lume is great. These dots and on the hands, it's pretty good lume. It's quite comparable, if not just the same or better as my Seiko here. So it has surprisingly good lume, and I love you can kind of see that, but the applied indices there, they're like a rooftop, how there's two planes to them. So I really like that. That's cool too. It's not anything crazy, but it's nice. I like that. And yeah, the lume is good. Indices are great. So it's a neat watch. So one thing I gotta mention as well is setting the date. So one, the crown is wobbly, as you see that there. It's wobbly, and that's fine because it means that this isn't permanently mounted to the stem, and if this gets bumped or hit or broken or something, it could mess up the movement inside. So this way, they're not connected together, and it's going to be a little more durable. So you just got to pull out as you adjust the time. So you're just pulling out as you spin it. So yes, of course, you can go all the way around spinning it until okay, that was noon. So now this will change. Boop, just went. So instead of having to go all the way around again, you go back. I can't remember which one it is, but I go back to the 8. I think it may be just past 9. But you go past 9 or past 8, and then boom, it changes again. So you can go back again. And change it. So that way you can adjust it without spinning all the way around. But this guy does run fast too. He runs a minute, I think it may be a minute a day, or about a minute a day fast. So kind of stinks, but it's alright. I know I can get it adjusted or maybe send it to someone who can tweak it, but it's not that big of a deal for me. I think it's pretty neat as it is. Non-hacking. I don't think it's hand winding at all. It's just, you know, automatic movement. But yeah, it's a great watch. The strap is, I wear it on 4, but it's a little too big on 4 for me. So I feel like I'm always, whatever watch it is, I feel like I'm always in between 2 sizes, which always stinks, but this is a good strap. I'll put a link down below, but it has the quick connect. I say quick connects, but it's the quick detach function there on the spring bar, and that is really nice. And so it's 2 pieces, you can see here, folded over and sewn together, so it's really, it doesn't stretch or wobble, or it's not, it's somewhat bendable, so it's a good case, or it's a good strap. And these, see how they're rectangular? That to me says that it's going to last a little bit longer because the weight is distributed evenly throughout the webbing, versus a NATO strap, how it's a hole, and a lot of the pressure, a lot of the weight is then on, just a few, strands maybe. But this one is a little bit wider, so it, it'll hold tight a little bit better. But I like a 2-piece NATO because it doesn't add that much thickness, and I had a 2-piece NATO on this one as well, but this one needs servicing, so I'm going to send that out soon. But yes, if one of these break, then my whole watch flies off. But, at around less than $80, this is a great watch. And so I'm getting ready to put on that Seiko bezel. I think that'll look nice. And I'm thinking about putting a mesh on it. I haven't decided which one to get yet, but this is a good watch to start modding. And so I wouldn't really call that a lot of modifications. I definitely wouldn't consider swapping out the bracelet, the band, really a modification, but doing the bezel or anything else, I'd say that's a modification. But it's the easiest one, that's for sure. So that's that. Great watch. Go out and get 2. So this is pretty great lume. It will die down a bit. Of course, all watches mostly do that, but you can see that there's no little dot at 3 or 6, and that will position you with the 12 o'clock. And I love the little second hand going around there, and the arrow is very distinguishable from the minute hand. So it's great. Good lume.